Should have one more clap.
My name is Simon May. I'm a professional composer. This is how I think you should write a hit song. There is a kind of a formula which I want to describe to you. Let's get to that in a moment. I've been lucky enough to write about a dozen hits in my career, and I'd like to share with you my experience and give you a few tips that might help you. It's like when you're in the kitchen and somebody's making a cake or whatever, there's a recipe. You have to know what ingredients to use, and it's exactly the same when you're writing a song. So here are what I think are the 5 ingredients for a hit song. A structure, a chord sequence, a top line melody, a lyric, and within all of that, a hook that you can't forget. The hook is probably going to be the title of the song. There are a few exceptions to that, like Careless Whisper by George Michael. In my case, I've written hits like Every Loser Wins, that's a hook, it's the chorus title. You were the summer of my life, that's the title, and that's what charted in the top 10 when it was released. Oh, here's another one. Anyone can fall in love, that's the title of the song, and it's the hook, and it's the chorus. You wouldn't design a car with square wheels, so don't reinvent the wheel. Look at all the songs that have got a great structure and a great chord sequence. I've worked out by listening to lots of other hit songs what I think is the successful structure for a song. Intro, 4 bars, verse 1, verse 2, telling the story, setting the scene. Then a pre-chorus, or I call it a bridge because it takes you from the verses into the chorus. Next, chorus 1, usually repeated. It's got to have a strong hook. I'll demonstrate that in a moment when I'm on the piano. After that first chorus section, you have a little link, 2 bars maybe, maximum 4 bars, takes you back into verse 3. Verse 3 followed by the same pre-chorus, into chorus 2, and that chorus is taking you to the end of the song. Unless you want a middle 8, which is 8 bars, that's why it's called a middle 8. And that 8 bars is a kind of sorbet between the choruses before you come back and repeat the last chorus. If you're Simon Cowell, after that middle 8, you would sing the last chorus and you'd take it up a key and modulate. I'm going to take a bit of risk now and improvise with words that I'm going to make up. Hopefully some of them rhyme, but hopefully they'll also tell a story and get to the hook. So here we go, 4 beats in the bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, bar 2. This is the intro. Now the verse. You gotta tell a story about someone that you met one day, or a place that you wish you'd been to much, and you hope that it won't go away. Said I was improvising. Now we've got to the bridge. lucky because I seem to have the knack. I get a lot of things wrong, but not the melodies. And when I've put down a chord sequence in the studio, that's my backing track. And then my right hand goes for a walk, and it literally goes all over the place with a melody that is appealing to me. And very often it's take one, because the excitement of discovering a melody incentivizes you to move on to the next part of the melody. You've got to be aware if you're using major chords or minor chords. That's C major. You know it's a major chord because the first note is a C and you go up 5 semitones, including the first note, and that's a major chord. A minor chord, you only go up 4 semitones and it sounds sad. So that's C minor. So with a full chord trick, you might have C major, A minor, F major, G major, or C major, D minor, F major, G major. Have fun with those 4 chords. C, A minor, F, G. Turn them around, do them in different orders. A minor, F major, C major. Have a little bit of patience, Garibaldo. One of the most popular chord sequences, I could play it in C major. C, A minor, F, G. I'll put in G major, G, E minor, C, D. Mozart got there first. Dolly Parton took it. Sequence. Want you back, want you back, want you back for good, or wet, wet, wet. I feel it in my feet. Same chords. I've written several songs with that lovely chord sequence. When I'm writing a song, I always refer to my dear wife Rosie and check that the melody is strong enough. And it's very simple. Rosie has a fantastic ear, and if she finds herself singing it an hour later, then it works. If she doesn't sing it later, it's not doing the job. Lyrics are probably the hardest thing for a lot of songwriters, and I often take a lyric for one of my songs after coming off a train and hearing a conversation between 2 strangers, and they might come out with a cliche like, see you tomorrow, and you say, oh, see you tomorrow, that's a nice cliche. Why don't you mess about with that and say, hope to see you tomorrow? Or I've written a song actually recently called When Tomorrow Comes. Simon and Garfunkel did that brilliantly. If you think of the cliche, oh, that's water under the bridge, they turned it round into bridge over troubled waters, which is an amazing lyric. And probably my favourite lyric. Oh, the other lyric that I love is from George Michael. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. What a lyric. How on earth he thought of that? Because that's so original, isn't it? What we have to do when we're writing lyrics is say something that people relate to, but try to say it in a slightly more original way. Don Black did that with Anyone Can Fall in Love, because, well, if you think about that, anyone can fall in love, but that's not the point of Don's lyric. That's the easy part, but it's staying in love that's more difficult. So that is a way of making a lyric tell a story. You may not even realise it when you're hearing a hit lyric, but it's got to be there. I think a good vocal performance, you need obviously to have a singer who can sing and sing in tune, but taking that as a given, it's how that vocalist interprets the song that makes all the difference between a hit and not a hit. When I'm recording a vocalist, I give that person the freedom to just sing it more than one time, and I record that vocal non-destructively. I take an overview and I listen to the performance, but it's the engineer who is able to build up a composite. That means the best parts of the vocalist's performance. What I often do when a vocalist has don what they think is the best performance, I then say, okay, let your hair down, just sing it how you want to sing it. There might be just the odd little phrase that is a very special part of that vocalist's feelings. And also, when you're recording a vocal, you have to persuade your vocalist that they've got to do it emotionally. They've got to think of the story, not just sing the words technically, but what's this song about? Can you relate to it? Imagine that you're in this situation. It's like acting, but acting musically. I remember that when I performed on Top of the Pops, I was the first person to have a record that dropped out of the charts because of my vocal. Nobody phoned me the next day, even my mother didn't, because I sung out of tune. I maintain that the orchestra was playing sharp. Everybody else says I was flat. I think that if you are an artist who can write a hit song and perform it better than anybody else, you're lucky. I think a good example of that is Dolly Parton wrote a fabulous song which was not a hit until Whitney Houston recorded it. I Will Always Love You. I love Dolly Parton's country and western version of I Will Always Love You, but it wasn't a massive hit like Whitney Houston. You've got to remember that it's not an easy process. I've written hundreds of songs before my first hit, and if you were lucky to write a hit song on your first writing session, that's great, you'll have a hit song, but you won't have worked out why it was a hit. So I wish you all the luck in the world, and remember, if you are on a writing session and it's a bad day and you're feeling tired and no inspiration, walk away, go and watch a movie, go and play tennis. Don't struggle when you haven't got the inspiration. It'll come. We all have bad days in writing. Just be yourself, look after your mind, look after your body, and you'll get better results. I promise you. Good luck.
That I'll always love.